Yo, what's going on? Dabbing deadpool here. Welcome back to another video. So, apparently, we're gonna, I think it was my first time making a video. I think it's my first time, no, actually, it's not my first time reacting to videos. So apparently we're gonna react to Story Booth. If you guys don't know what Story Booth is, they take real people's, because Story Booth will tell the real people what happened in their old days, and they're like the high school, like scary things and stuff like that. And then they put it into anime. And then the first one we're gonna watch is I am not accepted for my I don't know, you guys. Let's just watch. Let's just watch my birthday party prank. Wait, actually, hold up. Dating and heartbreaking. What the frick is this? This is so. Okay. The first one to watch, I got caught vaping at school. Let's do. What's not? There you go. Good boy.
Do you hear that?
I hate. Oh my god. I hate.
There's a baby crying.
Okay, shut up. Okay.
For the last day of school, so like everyone was pumped because it was almost summer break. My friend, he asked me, he's like, "Can you bring your vape to school?" And I obviously said yes because he was like one of my best friends. Since the vape wasn't mine, I had to grab it from my brother's room. So in the morning, I snitched the vape and put it in my backpack. I took it and I went in the car like, nothing going on here. And I get dropped off, and then I go up to the front gate, and my friend's already waiting there for me. So then we went into the school and tried finding a place for, like, the vape. Like, the hallways were, like, crowded with supervisors, and the bathroom was the only way. So me and my friend went into the bathroom while my guy friend and his friend stayed outside, and we started vaping. And one of my friends came in and says, "What are you guys doing?" And I blew the smoke right in her face. And then after that, we left and went into class. Little did I know, the girl that saw me vaping actually went to go snitch on me. So she went up to the office and reported me. So then I was in class, and a supervisor comes in the class and goes up to my teacher and talks to her. And then the teacher says, "Where are you, Roxy?" And then I raised my hand, and the supervisor came up to my desk, and she was like, "Where are your things?" And I told her, "These are my things." They weren't really my things. They were my friends' things, because obviously if I said my backpack was mine, the vape was inside of it. I went up to the office walking in with the supervisor, and then I walked into the vice principal's office, and she was telling me that I got reported for vaping and that she needed to pat me down and to look into my stuff and everything to make sure if I had the vape or not. So obviously, since this was not my backpack, there was no vape inside. And she got suspicious and asked me to tell her the truth, like, where is the vape? And I told her it's in the classroom, and I told her it was in a backpack. And then they brought my friend up and my backpack, and that's when my friend confessed to saying that my backpack was the one that she had in the backpack I brought up to the office was not my backpack. And that's when the vice principal got really, like, mad and started saying, "I cannot trust you anymore. Like, you really disobeyed me. You really lied to me. I'm not able to trust you anymore." So then that's when my friend left, and like I was in the office still, and she was like saying she's gonna have to email my parents and tell them that they have to come pick me up because I got suspended. So then when I got in the car, I was crying, obviously, and my brother was just ranting at me. And I got home and I got my phone taken away. I got grounded for the whole summer, just stayed in my house doing nothing and no phone. So I was just pretty much sitting on the couch drawing or doing whatever. And that definitely taught me to not bring a vape to school anymore. And yeah, don't.
Wow. Yeah, guys, just don't get caught vaping. And then what is this? Do you have? Yeah, guys, don't actually do that. Just don't. Yeah, just actually don't. Just actually don't get caught vaping, or because people get snitched. Just don't wait. Just don't. Just like don't. Just don't. get vape. Just don't vape in school. The next one we're gonna watch, Leaving with the Discipline and Without Junk Food. Let's hit it. It's real story animation.
This happened a few years ago. When I was a child, I would eat junk food every single day. I didn't eat much healthy food. I would eat chips, soda, candy, anything you could think of that involved sugar. My mom told me every day I shouldn't be doing this. I should eat some healthy stuff often, but I just ignored her and continued eating food. A few years passed, and that's when we went to the hospital because I couldn't really hear much from my ear. So we went to the hospital for them to check it out. So when we went there, the nurse wanted to check my blood sugar. So she did. When she poked my finger, it was kind of hurt, but I was fine with it. When she came back, she had a serious face on her. She looked at me and looked at my mom and said that I have diabetes. So my mom was scared. You could tell in her face that she was worried for me. I didn't know what diabetes was. All I knew is that one of my aunts had it. The doctor said that diabetes is when you cannot make something called insulin that kind of balances your blood sugar. I have to take medicine that was insulin. I have to put it in myself with a shot. I don't like shots, syringes, anything that involved a needle. I would just cry. I don't like needles at all. It was scary knowing that I had to get shot every single day, check my blood sugar every single day. Every single day, all I see is a needle in front of me. It's scary. Whenever I eat, I have to put the shot on. My people look at me whenever we're at restaurants. Like, oh my God, look at that girl. She's putting a shot on. Whoa, what the heck? It's kind of nerve-wracking. My mom told me that I have to start eating healthy. I can't really eat that much junk food anymore, and that kind of, made me sad. I was like, wow, I can't eat no more junk food, no more ice cream candy. What am I gonna do with my life? No! All I'm ever gonna see is greens. After a few years, I kind of got used to the shots, but I am still not used to the blood tests. I'm kind of fine with diabetes now. It's still kind of scary that knowing diabetes, if I don't take care of myself, I might hurt myself. It could damage me. I might die. I try my best to just live on, act normally, just like everyone else, be with friends, do whatever normal people could do. I just want to say, take care of your body and just be careful and stay healthy, you guys.
Wow, that's awesome, but, yeah, I actually don't. What the heck is this? Have been our news story? Yes. No, not yet. When it says I just have to do it. Apparently, yeah, I just don't get. Yeah, just eat healthy and stuff, and yeah. Okay, I'm trying to find one real quick. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this video. Hi guys, so apparently I'm trying to find some animations on Storyboot, but you guys, for this one, I want you guys to subscribe to Mr. Nightmare. I already subscribed to him because I think it was pretty good. But yeah, I watched some of his videos, and one of his videos are good. But this one, it's one of his videos. Let's see, 3 creepy true online dating horror stories 1 week ago. Ah, dang, dude.
After breaking up with my first girlfriend when I was 21, I had been single for about a year. It was the first time I had been single in years, so it took some getting used to again. Eventually, I decided it was time to get back into the dating scene, so I started downloading a bunch of dating apps. One of the apps I downloaded was OkCupid, which was the one I used the most. I vibed the most with one girl I matched with named Brenna. Based on her interests and biography, she was into a lot of things I was into. She was a very pretty, light-skinned black girl. We had talked for a while and agreed that I would pick her up at her place to go out and get food. I pulled up to her house on the west side of town at 6:30. It was about 10 minutes after sunset, so it was really getting dark. I texted Brenna, and she took a while to answer. I sat in my car actually staring at the conversation for a while, waiting for the texting bubble to come up. When it finally did, she responded saying, "Hey, sorry about that. My brother's gonna meet you outside. He's being really annoying and protective." I showed her how upset I was and how much I didn't want to have to meet her brother, but she just kept saying, "Sorry, he's forcing me." I saw the front door of the house I was parked in front of open, and a guy came out walking over to the driveway while looking at my car. I got out to go over and meet him, realizing he towered over me. Another thing I quickly noted was his skin was significantly more dark than Brenna's, to the point that they wouldn't even seem related at all. He shook my hand and introduced himself as Will. There didn't seem to be anything off-putting about him at first glance, and he seemed friendly enough. He started going on about how he just wanted to make sure a trustworthy, stand-up guy was about to take out his sister. We talked for a little, and he seemed normal enough, I guess. He finally asked me to come inside to meet Brenna. He led me into the house and shut the door behind me. He told me to wait right there in the living room while he went upstairs to get Brenna.
This is creepy.
As he went upstairs, I looked into the living room to realize there were two men sitting on the couch, both giving me a certain kind of look I just didn't like. I said what's up to them. One of them just slightly nodded his head, but just barely. Will from upstairs called down that he's trying to find Brenna, which was odd. I turned to look at the room adjacent to the living room, which was the dining room. To my surprise, there was another man sitting at the dining room table, also staring at me. Instinctively, I stepped back and reached for the doorknob without even turning my back to the three men. One of them screamed, "Grab him," as they saw me reach for the door. At that point, I flung the door open and ran to my car. They weren't far behind. In fact, I made it into my car with only maybe a second to spare before they were outside my doors, kicking and hitting my windows, trying to break them.
Dang.
I was able to drive away down the block, but keep in mind this was on a public residential road. I have no idea how it didn't cause more of a scene out on the street. I made it home to tell my mom and dad what happened, still out of breath. They were in shock and almost didn't believe it, and they recommended I call the police. I did. I reported the house and the incident to the police. One of the neighbors vouched for my story anonymously because they saw the group attacking my car when I escaped. Police arrested 3 of the 4 men I saw in the house, one of them being Will, or whatever his real name was. The other guy couldn't be found or identified. I didn't stop using dating apps after that. I was just a lot more cautious from there on.
Okay, so apparently what happened to the girl then? What happened to his online dating girl? What happened to her? He didn't tell it. He didn't tell what happened. Sorry to...
At the time of this story, I had already met a total
Facebook?
of 3
Why
people
did
on
that's
Match.com. It didn't really work out with 2 of them, and the third one I dated for 4 months. After my breakup, I wanted to take a break from commitment and just find something more casual. And so I matched with a girl named Kylie, who I got along with decently well on the app. She seemed down to just come over to my apartment and hang out for the night. She showed up about half an hour later and seemed really quiet in person. We hung out in my room in the upstairs of my apartment for most of the night. We just talked for a while watching TV in the background. There were a bunch of awkward silences, but I did my best to fill them with new conversations. In the back of my mind the whole time I was thinking, are we gonna kiss? Does she expect me to move in for the kiss? How do I go about it? But hours of talking later, I started to realize there was something wrong with this girl. She became increasingly more emotionless. She was staring off across the room as she'd talk slowly, talking about increasingly deep and dark things.
That's creepy.
Then she said something surprising. She thanked me for allowing her to sleep over. Apparently, when I said she could come hang out for the night, she meant to literally stay the night. She got off the bed and asked what blankets she could use for the floor. I grabbed a couple blankets and pillows and made a sort of bed for her on the floor. She thanked me and then laid down on her side facing away from me. I guessed she was ready to go to sleep. I turned off the TV and closed my eyes. We didn't say a single word to each other, and I have to admit it was very awkward. I fell asleep probably half an hour after shutting the TV, but I awoke randomly in the middle of the night. I sat up and looked down at the floor and was able to see that Kylie didn't appear to be laying on the floor anymore. I flipped on the lamp and looked around the room. She wasn't anywhere actually, but just then I heard a voice downstairs. It sounded like it could be Kylie. All the walls in my apartment are paper thin, so noise travels quite easily throughout it. I quietly left my room and stood at the foot of the top of the stairs, listening for what Kylie could be saying. All the lights upstairs were off, but she was talking in a low voice. I just couldn't tell for sure what exactly she was saying. I figured she was on the phone with someone, but still, I went downstairs to check. I stepped into the dark kitchen, and there she was. But she wasn't on the phone. She was just creepily sitting in one of the chairs facing the wall. She seemed to still be muttering to herself. I was frozen. All I could say was, "Kylie?" She turned her head to me slowly, looked at me for a few seconds, then turned back to face the wall. I went upstairs quickly to my room and crawled into my bed to call my dad. I had to call at least 3 times before he finally picked up, obviously sounding concerned. I told him in a quiet panic that some random girl from online was staying the night, and now she was sitting in my kitchen muttering to herself like a crazy person. He sounded confused as hell, but told me to call 911 if she seemed like she was having some kind of episode to safely get her out of there. Then I looked up and noticed a figure standing by my bedroom door in the dark. It was Kylie. All I saw was the outline of her skinny body. She stood there for maybe 10 seconds. All I heard was my dad on the other end of the phone saying hello over and over. The next thing I saw was the silhouette of Kylie at my door suddenly charge at me in my bed as she began to scream. She lunged at me and put her hands around my throat, trying to choke me. However, I was able to quickly overpower her and hold her down against the bed. I screamed at my dad to call the cops. I was able to drag the insane girl downstairs by the time the cops came. The cops took her away to fill out a few documents. I think it's safe to say that you should always meet people from websites and apps in a safe, public place first.
That's creepy. I swear. Do you miss a nightmare is like the awesomest, scariest person like in the animations ever? Man, yeah, I was like, it's so like dang. Let me see if I can find animations. Yes, animations. Yeah, so we're gonna watch his animations or something like that. Oh no, we can. Oh yeah, we can watch it from Llama Arts. I'll do that in the next video. I think. Maybe I don't know. This is the last one ever.
I've been single most of my life. However, I've used apps like Tinder or Badoo just for fun for a long time. Have I met some weird people? Yes. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened in February of 2014. Dead of winter, the time of year that these apps are perhaps most useful if you're just looking for casual fun when you can't have fun outside. I was using the app Badoo, and at any given moment I would be messaging with 5 different girls, only because I know 9 out of 10 conversations would end up dying. One conversation kept going strong, however. The girl's name was Maria. Every time I'd hear that triple note ding, a notification from Badoo saying, "Maria sent you a new message," I'd actually get a little excited. I asked if she was down to hang out tonight. She wrote back yeah, and asked for my address. I gave it to her without hesitation. She said she'd be right back. I said, "Wait, give me your number so we could text." But she didn't respond. After a few minutes, it said she was offline. The app did that when someone wasn't active for a few minutes. So I figured be back soon, and I patiently waited while going back to watching TV. I kept routinely checking the app to see if she came back online, but she stayed offline. An hour passed, and now it was getting a bit late for her to even come over. Plus, I was getting kind of tired, so the idea was kind of shot. I went to bed. The next morning, I woke up early. It was raining outside, and it was still a little dark. I checked the clock, and it was 6:30 in the morning. I was grateful it wasn't like 11 and I could get back to sleep. I did, however, pick up my phone to check for any new text and junk. I saw a few notifications from Badu, actually. Maria had messaged me a few times. I opened the app as I rubbed my eyes. She said, "Hey, I'm coming now," at like 3 a.m. Then at like 3:20 a.m. it said, "I'm here." At 4 a.m. it said, "I'm watching you." I noticed it said she was online too.
Oh, that's
And
creepy.
the triple tone sound beeped, meaning I got a new message from her. It said, "How did you sleep?" My heart started to race, and I felt a feeling of unease in my
Heck
chest
no.
and in my head. I right away looked out the window to see if anyone was hiding in the bushes outside. Then I shut the blind.
No.
I typed back, "Who the hell is this?" 10 seconds later, I got the disturbing message, "Check your closet and find out."
Heck
Looked
no.
across my room to the closet door that I know was closed last night. The closet door that was now cracked open. I was so shook I almost couldn't breathe. Then the door pushed open ever so slowly, revealing the dark inside of the closet. I started screaming for my dad. I had to run past the closet to leave my room, but as I got to my dad's room to find the bed empty, I had completely forgotten he wasn't home for the weekend. My older brother was home though, and he came rushing to see what the commotion was, to which I told him to check the closet with me. When we checked the closet, there wasn't a single trace of anyone having been in there. Then a cold breeze hit me, and I realized my stupid self didn't lock my window the night before. Things made a little more sense now. I went to the police station to show the messages on the app in hopes they could track the person, but apparently it wasn't that easy. I would need court orders and such in order for Badu to be required to release the information of the user. I refrained from doing anything. However, luckily after a long week of sleeping in fear, nothing happened, and I was able to move on with my life.
Yeah, dang. But anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed that video, subscribe to me if you're new here, and leave a like. And if you guys want more of this, if you want more of this, leave a comment down below. Say that do more videos of Mr. Nightmare or Story Booth. Which one's ever better? See you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.